After earning the title of the worst superhero movie of all time, the Morbheads took up arms, working together to fight the oppressive critics using the power of memes to save Morbius. They grew their campaign by photoshopping Morbius onto anything and everything possible, editing Morbius into movies like Doctor Strange, The Multiverse of Madness, and Venom 2. And as of today, Morbius has been trending on Twitter for 11 days straight as fans demand a sequel. But it didn't stop there. Morbius 247 live streamed Morbius for 12 hours before being viciously banned by Twitch. Rest in peace, Morbius 247. Like millions of other people out there, I didn't watch Morbius in theaters. Before it even came out, it was being clowned on because the trailer looked horrible. So when Morbius came out with devastatingly low reviews and an embarrassing box office, the internet did its thing and the flow of memes began. And Morbius, overnight, transformed from the worst to the best superhero movie of all time. The memes came on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. It was the whole shebang. But for some reason, they didn't stop. And even though the movie came out 3 months ago, the flow of memes grows ever stronger. So me, a regular human being, seeing non-stop talk about Morbius made me curious. Maybe it was a funny bad movie like Catwoman or 2003's Daredevil. So naturally, I went to 123 movie... I went to my local movie theater, plopped down in my seat with a bucket of popcorn, observed the completely empty theater around me, and feasted my eyes on Morbius. And you might not believe me when I say this, Morbius is probably the worst movie I've seen in my entire life. I'm sorry to burst your bubble, guys, but this movie actually sucks. I mean, seriously, what do you expect from a vampire movie that's not allowed to show blood? Morbius is a bland, uninspired, underdeveloped, lifeless movie with a story so basic you can predict every moment of the entire movie after watching the first 10 minutes. It's not goofy, it's not funny, and those 2 hours of my life are gone forever. So let's break down the movie so I can tell you exactly why Morbius is really, really bad and how exactly the memes saved it. Morbius is a movie about Dr. Michael Morbius, a man born with a blood disease who's been researching vampire bats to cure his condition. We also learn that Morbius has a best friend with the same condition named Milo. Milo and Morbius are pretty much the same exact person. Difference is, Milo got beat up once by bullies as a kid. I sure hope that doesn't plant seeds of an evil future. 15 minutes in, Morbius finds a cure for his disease. How'd he do it? No clue. But oh no! The cure derived from vampire bats turns him into a vampire!
No shit.
When Morbius returns home with six-pack abs, Milo realizes a cure's been discovered, but Morbius won't let him take it. When Milo asks why, Morbius just tells him he can't. Despite the fact that Milo, his lifelong best friend, is on the verge of death, for some reason, Morbius chose to leave out the part where it makes you a bloodthirsty, super-powered, killing vampire. So as you might have already guessed, Milo took the cure, became a vampire, and started to murder everyone. Why does he start murdering everyone? No fucking clue! Why does he try to kill Morbius, his lifelong best friend? No fucking clue! At first, Milo says he wants to have fun and that they can go anywhere and do anything. So why is he murdering civilians? I get that he was beat up as a kid, but in literally 5 minutes, he became a mass murderer. The movie tries to sell the idea that Morbius feels responsible for Milo's killings because he's the one who turned them into vampires. Morbius's plan to defeat Milo includes his own death to prevent any more potential harm. And that's probably the most thought out thing in this entire movie. But as you might expect, after he kills Milo, he doesn't end up dying himself, and it's never explained. Bravo, Morbius. Bravo. So Morbius and Milo have a messy CGI throwdown. Morbius gets the absolute shit kicked out of him, makes a miraculous recovery, and without hesitation, kills Milo, his lifelong best friend. The movie fails to establish the world, the characters, or even explore a single character arc. Despite actions being taken and things happening in the movie, nothing happens. And to top it all off, we get this awful after credit scene where Morbius and Vulture meet up. Also, I'm convinced that Michael Keaton wasn't even there for the second after credit scene. Yes, there were two, because Vulture keeps his mask on the whole time, and I don't think there's any way Michael Keaton Keaton would show up for this steaming pile of shit unless contractually obligated. So when I say the fan edit of Morbius in Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness has more creativity and entertainment value than the actual movie Morbius, I'm dead serious.
Meet the Dr. Michael Morbius.
The CGI sucks. The fight scenes suck. The actors give so little shits about what they're doing, and they suck. In contrast, recently I watched 2003's Daredevil with Ben Affleck, and while it was a bad movie, it was so much fun to watch. Everything about it was shockingly bad, but the writing, cinematography, and acting were all so goofy, it was just a blast. And same goes for Halle Berry's Catwoman. The plot, the acting, the story, virtually everything was terrible, but it was so goofy that it made it so fun to watch. Like, what the hell is this? Why is she spinning like that? The writers, directors, and actors in Daredevil and Catwoman clearly understood what type of movie they were making and embraced it, turning something bad into something funny. But Morbius is the exact opposite. Everything about it sucks, and it's not fun to watch. The actors treat it as if it's the most serious role of their lives, but at the same time are giving no effort. Jared Leto's facial expressions and tone of voice are static for nearly the entire movie, except for when he's hungry. Otherwise, you don't know if he's happy, sad, worried, or any of the other basic human emotions. The best way I can describe Morbius, as the internet cleverly puts it, Morbius is the movie of all time. I didn't know it was possible to feel so void of emotion until I watched this movie. There was one single scene that gave me a slight chuckle, but after the first hour of the movie in which my brain was cleansed of all feeling, it wasn't even that funny at that point, and I was just disappointed. To add, the sole purpose of this movie was to introduce another character in the group of Spider-Man villains known as the Sinister Six, a group that now consists of Morbius, Venom, and Vulture. Problem is, Vulture is the only one who has beef with Spider-Man, and Morbius and Venom aren't villains. They're both decent guys with positive intentions. That doesn't sound very sinister to me. Not to mention, Sony doesn't even have a Spider-Man. Dear God, don't do Andrew Garfield dirty again. Please, God, no. So at the end of the day, I'm the prime example of how memes saved Morbius. The honest truth is that seeing people constantly talk about it made me rethink my decision. It couldn't be that bad, right? And I'm really confident when I say I wasn't gonna see Morbius before the memes came out. So chances are, if I changed my mind, tens of thousands of other people did too. And as crazy as it sounds, I kind of expect there to be a sequel. It would be the best way to cash in on such a massive online trend, even if it's a few years down the road. And with the benefit of hindsight, a sequel could take itself a little less seriously and really lean into the funny. And as a matter of fact, they've already started doing exactly that.
What are you reading?
Nothing really, just,
What are you reading?
So to each of you watching this video right now, Morbius isn't fun, it's not enjoyable, and there's nothing entertaining about it. The memes are really, really funny, but you don't need to see the movie to enjoy them. If anything, not seeing the movie makes it more funny, because as they say, ignorance is bliss. There's a reason the meme started, and that's because Morbius is the worst superhero movie of all time. And I advise you not to waste yours.